enti no aba se wo betu me fo. Mami, uni mafutu a. Kwa ka che sesabonsam se onyai bone na wiase ha ye bre. Baba. So fiba. Edi asema mada, wo bebo me punu ma betu me punu no, ha?
Adai, ati sai. And then I see on the road again. My house and the castle. Dear, a hammer, a mamaswa, and so person India. When you fly, Diana, when you do one eye. Now, surprise, our first one now will fly. So, we will see a mountain chair, the father and phone chair, and so on. The first one, toy area. The opposite of the account of sound to so it is something meaningful. So, and now we coming in the south and some just. If you are seeing I don't if you are studying from one, and I'm quite if you win. And I could look because you have a movie. Catch me. So you for your young one feels here. And how to talk to you. But I'm for you. What the Makuma Society? You got us. Canibia, Nanny Beflow, you're running away. I don't know if you know. You are so much. You want this, what you want this. Ready to do Macorio, ready to do Macorio. I'm a Miami. Why are you that annual? On one I am say you, on one I am say you. Me dava cropel, hey, yeah. Baby, my so isolated among many pa. And you know, but I'm probably able to tell me the mobile will be a bay. We should die at the man. But that we should die at the man, something but may maintain. It's impossible free home. With the move through what the mapa had. What is it? Why don't so?
What may I die?
Near be. Not more yes, here. Mamma.
I can't dance. No more, I know your money, baby. I tell you, you so be a man. Well, we have a church. I'm to your big crew. And you, your dance. So, dear, my papa.
Oh, and I'm
your papa, your higher comer. Your higher comer, papa. dear, Beba. Why? You say you're quite chicken. You chicken, Beba. Then yan, when you Beba crown. Oh, I ain't going to papa. You need you. Now, also, you need to want to answer. That's not a crack. You call a house and one of your phone a year or children and you are a chimon. You see, nobody will be if you could chicken. It's now a cry. Why me a pack? It is all by saying that I want to your heart. Yes, I am pay. No back of 1 million. William, my banner, what you be about? Oh, my idea, come and say, which me I can say, Mamma, may I put us a meet me a pass? Too bad, anyone, let us say, you're honey and you're right. Why? Not I almost would to be dog. Yeah, they are your better. That's what I know by an hour. How many can dance in anyone with Mrs. Sebu? I'm going to Mrs. Already, I could to a green natural. I thought I cried with Miss. Assuming I am a federal. I've assuming grabbers, assuming in the person. I'm can't why? Emma, don't can't say, smart. Yo, I'm quiet, and why? Yeah, you see, can't think you're in my Banchi. Go pass by you. I can't be yellow. Eja, so can you? Some catch us a hand and animation as well. Midi basis, and woman, and your banner, the Mayon. Wow, the by any Maku. Make chin, come on. Make chin, I will go up in the kitchen and take a crack. Be a chum. May, yeah. Sit down over to I can't so brief. See me coming, sir. None of them for you dinner. The uncle may be when I came half a plate. Listen, go to Japan and Japan. I told them, hey, yes, sir. Mamma could enter. Mamma could enter. My walking number. Johnson, and now the Bamai. I said, not the Maya, a bebway. So Bergrum has a baby queen. My asset near no. Mamma, my who said. A free nail queen. Men person anyway, ebe hunu biem. South asem na America. Men person and go bebe fear bi. O si akura pam no man nko. Mama, he come me mo. Na me bi se won pa cho. Yes. Ni ahenkan. Ahenkan ye tiri so ne ya pampa so. E ye wo hwene na wodisi wo no. Na ye ahenkan. Wo hwene no, e na ye ahenkan ma ye se me ba ne kasa na wote ye. Sa musuo na edi machi firi sa akuro ni so na amode abesoa ye so wa ha no. Maami tie mama nkan kire o. Ayarefo asefo bi se ye hi omu okrom ha o. Maami
yet ye baby di. Walk of fetch a friend to say, and a near flack home. So ye chabuo. So ye can say cut you. Ye wuni pabaya way. Make to one ye kindly pack a camel. One can who says, I'm webbing a movie room about me can't to a free neck corner. Sahin can who saw an amha. Obana dear, so who be a say, or 2 way when ye pack. Who said to webbing a and to one a wenny, they can't show, so much I can am her. Also far. So much I can yet to make up who to jam. My man,
see anything as well. The American say, my hand can't see Fiadi. Or by a crap, come no man and fluff was for Monsieur,
Hey, I don't know where yes, sir. Well, we send a new notion.
Nani
Monsieur.
Hey,
One of the bomber man, yes, we Musuba. Come has one so be any efra.
Check and net dear me pejam. Nime brefi dear, will be any me. If a jam a banner. Now come me and Cassame Baya. Mammy, some was some one. What we are boy. A bed than have a better for my mamma. We're glad who grosso. Nada a bed no just no. One can have some mamma yet.
Mamma no just
window. Now, Miaka said, and go some one. That's rough was.
And yeah, condition must be yes. I feel the AC and die. I'm sorry. Oh, who say I'm a Yachi? Now, the corner has a hopeful hopeful. Yeah, to say. They shouldn't train you.
I don't know, do a cacra. See, baby, cacra, and I'm a baby sissy. Jammy Jay, yes, then quite a sample dog. I think I'm here to send a cacra.
Oh, Debbie, I will be become a factory and say, I remember my one up and over the door to what sees you. Oh, I can't be a jammy, and a cacra, that's some tippy. I'll make a crackers, and I'm going if you also for son. I'm also a motion, and I also the auntie. What the Macumaso, the answer the Macumaso, the Ipam Penassi. It is a young man watching and a young son watching. So, hopefully, Savannah Boatin, I could see let the idea of your banana or bay abode. You do go on Mancasabio or your bonnet cranum, Timpanka, and happy. You are all through out to do the best so good. I feel over dining ready. So, remember why not? After Sucran, per se, I'm doing an Abraham. I'm doing an Abraham. Look to me in your cacra. Oh, deputy. And you fear me an uncle. Oh, Anna, once more me an uncle. Yeah, one who say, Sabi, me at the idea you treat any of the intelligent. You are no more. None we are crying. I call a friend and PM. I poor men's at our for so I PM. Poor men's and one PM. Dear Grannis on some of you movie. The swimming so you Nipana Trump no Ghana. Hey! There are no could 9 months. No children of Bosman, I can't know the Bosman. As I saw a couple of beer. Ah, Nassau, I did away anything. What I said. And did no more fun of Polo. Aha. You are only I want the funeral starting one. Yeah? And that you say, yeah. I or the barber kind of crescent on and you know. As you trade, Edan ko do tie na mai sem peso mi ni sere no sere no. Ade bra mu na. O ba do. Wa onye ngui. So aka no kredi afidua na e hye na sa no aba. Nti.
Ene se na fu na ba do.
O ba do na man gu so mo ye no ho adwuma nti na. Aka no kredi se nti ne etwa odwan so etwa na.
Baba wa etiri mu odi. Na so okokoko be ba.
Etiri mu odi se.
Okokoko be ba.
Sa mo ye o.
Na wa hwe Obama.
Omonye mo bia no mo dwan. Onye mo anyi obi no dwan. Se. Tino yes ano nse timpese mbi gwa ne bibra mu na nso anye bia mu twa wonu kakra
e be twa ya de na nu ye ndeti woni sana ne papa ye bofo
tina
mu de
woni wori amfa so chese na ni na enya dwuma na nu retaka maso de dwuma etino badbabra mu na ma bibi ti mema nkra no de enam na ba na ma sa adre mu mi anti a mususum ko fom Sunkofu. Why? Yeah. I'm not ready on why papa. Why I can't.
Hey, I ain't got that. No, Janice. Hey, I ain't got that. Hey, so my son named baby so fine.
Okay. And I say, I'm a founder.
And that's the fabric. And that's the fabric. The book for my name ever find. And that's the fabric.
My kind. And I say, I'm a founder.
I find out what I say. Number fabric, I say. Go. Not just a baby. None for me. I'm so unconscious of me, but some cousin. Me back.
I kind. Say, yeah, you dinner height, and put a womb, yeah. Now, run and pop watch a brand new summer farm and walk out and so on for an over. I kind.
Yeah. Man, by I can't buy a self. Eh, when Mama was me, and I'm in Pepper, and I'm by yeah, Charlie, I will be. I'm a book by Irena Cocho, hey, I'm a bomb baby.
One more hand. Hey, Mammy, ya. Me catch you to die, I ain't catch you. Oh, besides someone. Oh, besides someone. Me catch you to die, I ain't catch you. I was chef was it for. Mammy, I cast a chill over. Sir, on pass them out when you ain't catch you. Yes, sir. You're back to no crown pet. So what's your same name? I'm sure many job reset me be a team.
Ya kasa ya kasa umwa de say no proper tu Germany mo we ye kasa de di matam nti won fere
afa na
we be di du ma mi atam
afa na we be hu me on me ma me onya sam fuwe me ma me onya sam fuwe me ma no fo obi a wadi jam nkoma obi o ya ahenkan ja eye musuo ti kasa che oba se eye musuo se obi a wadi jam akwa ahemfie edi eti na o se ode no ho ko twitwira ahenkan wonim se ahenkan ya me nkwa me dia o Winnie,
no, I didn't go to China. One no, I didn't go to China. Now, I just what did them. No, go on in your way.
I didn't go to you.
Hey, we are Casaka say you, what? Who Casaka say, yeah, Castle 1 year say, and
I make sure say, I feel I will be woman. I feel my way. My bahane, Miss Sam had a person to do. It's Casachira, we are Casachira, Casachira, and yes, I did about to know pet. One,
a fear Jaya, which I made a vanity almost I can walk on you.
Obanuni so
I'm Fansa Gombe. Gomia Casamia,
they say, Obanuni so you.
One never catches you, monsieur.
Now the only
good thing you want is so you, monsieur.
So you see any one Casama, woman in a crowd come. We are Busia for us for your dance for why. Obia, what did you make? Martin Fansa coming back. Miss Sam, happy. And then I cried my banner. My banner who was so moving. Madame Baha, I am moving. My mobile bomb is some men not to and some one who said, many are brain of some Funa. Hey, I feel I done. Ah, some four. Some money. Hey, one man who grew so 1 year. Yeah, me, I know. And the sooner who is you die. I'm fantastic. Let me take you out.
glad then I'm here. This house and I'm there, so I like.
Oh, you can't talk, sir. No lie, what do you say?
We are moving full fine yummy and yaw. That's the room. It's in a Mibusawa was the antissa. Mibusawa was the antissa. It's an enemy in your room. It is an assistant and scientist.
Then I'll do now. Kalan 1 year down. So I see. Or see one because I won't shed in your fan guy. Or be on a bit to my rounds. Or be out there, or swag. So I see. So the Rasta boy. Oh, yeah, Rasta boy. It's on to me move. Tell me you're down.
And I don't be Rasta boy.
Kobi, it's me all day. What's on your ma? Me on tomorrow. Then I'm so I can do such a who was mother. Me on tomorrow. Eh, what a girl is a holiday. What is a holiday? Tractors. And I fix Hannah with tractors. Just like that. Hannah tractors. I will see.
Oh, eh, lie.
There lie. Sunny lie. Ah, Mama, that I am back.
Kuya si bi wanu mi ese ka chen se me pe ma na ni bia de oni ni gina wono o ya ponche ana we ne pie enye oge ni gina ha
Kasa. Jina no Kobi. Jina no.
No, oh, you turtles. What does it? Turtles. So we say, but we don't make.
aso that's why
Oh, Jerry. Why would you be a jar that I'm about why are you holy now? I read it now. Look up and just a rasta for your Mokan now. Our rasta is fake. Trunk one now, let me trim us have been good. I shall do it now. Take as a good
Oh, madam, choose why, Messa. Get through your macan away, Jeddy. Who made him at them saying, who said, could do a macasso? Yeah, now, too poor. Dog, what? I mean, here do I am a lie. We are not come out. Who say once?
bibi yeme makonfo ndeshe obeje de se manya baba wodu kurum ha makoma akodi ne ho I connected masabo mihuna na mihu aguade su mihu na wose kome nso asema wo hose ni fra we ni fra ni emanu nti ehun se bebrebe makonfo boame na tine ni man wate o de nani ni bia akose bia powura ho na pone munum na twemehwe amamwate na kaba boame wate
medeshe me ma ukasa enye tintin adentina kromha emayiwa mu ofe tintin titia kokko tuntum mabu ya hye da aduma kromha aya wo kromha wanye mu bia se ni freni ana ope
amakonfo onti ase na ati ase kra nso enye yi obi am ya henka me bɔ me nsa no se ya ema no penempempem kra menya
nokre
nso mre bi onu ntufu bɔ no nyimo se kotufo su huma bebre nso ade sa odandofo nchen
nokre
ababa we wi amakoma no akosi se me huma yo aka okoma nyina so mo ye mema no no nkwa na ye ba me huna na me ho awoso It will not who say metro I want to Penfosi do a baby tree crack. It no and yes I'm a cost so baby pet and what him I catch him so one penny and na Untuna men and Nimu de Macuma couldn't hold and sign friendly ban. Tibuame, nothing any mammy what.
This year, what can I say? Sebi, me herself won't a dear young. Now we shall my comfort, name officer, we all shape a coupe. Sebi penny for say, Biana Conadia, any important son. Minting to soon from catching my son for the other. Semi bow. Is a man Cassa. Maybe.
Matea.
Around here. Oh, I don't know. That's the same. Oh, Gruma. Oh, Gruma. Go baby. Nana, what was your kind? I didn't know. Just say, a man who was so many. We are not the family of woundedness. I didn't know. Jimano.
I did was my okay, the answer, Mr. Canadian Amentiasi, as a Messiah.
She says, I make a winning. Winning in American. I ain't kind. I ain't kind. Well, what done for you? What done for no? And I wouldn't even hear Cosso. May a catcher. From her. Say, was soon a for fra. Some my one of former Domosia or former Wajao or former Wajao. Mushayi. Mushayi. Me say, go catcher and say, men may catch us or catcher and say, Subano Nermono on Sessa. What did I make a catcher on? And waiting on me, throw.
Now, I just read a message. As in a Wakuma of Rabas from Mr. Namate. I send me one Messia. The Desi Candida, and the other can do the Wakan Mati. The name back as I walk around and meet with the Pono. I'm not with you.
Catchy. Ma, I ain't can't want to say. Me baba. Ayapana. Nano she and no catcher and say. Obewaran. So as soon as for me, I do from so. Go catcher. Me de si wo so me se dey
Me kwa kan kire
me se dey
wo di si me so me kan
ko bona mane se obetima fa ma o bia but me baba ne dey wo hwe ene wo fa na ni anya dey anko no
so why ate se wo nse dan ni wo dey me bona mane why
wo dey no na maka kire wo no o papa no yo bia obra no ho ase na wo suba e different wo suba nye sa nya maka kire wa
ajadu ma that's ene ya e be shia bi
oni me wan be shia
ajadu no no ai
Kubila!
Gratien, Sifom. Mrs. Sifom. Gratien, come on to me. We must say, oh, and I'm in a casa. Did I change? Abranti. Ubena wo from Odia. Ubeno ulim ne ene dia. Ufri abosu nso ayem eba no dikube bai. Mesi mu fri abosu nso mba no dikube bai. Ulim ne ene dia. Se ulim ne ene dia ka wo fro. So ulim ne ene dia ka wo fri kube no. Catch me, Bissawasi. I can't hold you. Oh, I said, I can't your paddy. I can't your paddy. My young coming in a quackana. It is Subaya and Kainam. Oh, Kroma. I also saw some ma every. Next to Sasuban and Amuna move. I said, I somehow walk in a quite for 21. Oh, catch them and miss a quite in fear. Let me one. Walk like a one. I can't make a son. Let me one. Me, Penny Moore to send me my bomb, but I'll catch them and say. Me kwa himfia o papa suban e na wafa o papa suban papa na wafa e dedu e me kwa me ma yisen kama ba fie wo be din ko bi e fa baba no nhu baba na mani agye no na pese kama kokodo wo fofo na da esile ne so ho no e kama yo ba ne ho ade wo wadi ge wani che me baba ba e ya pa na wani che no mani che no sai ya mo papa tuo kwa ya mo papa tuo kwa wo wani che me baba apana ho wani je na ho neboa ahinka nya wadanfo enya ahinka no se wo peme ba bana no onte ana so bi aka nchira na ahinka ka ma me enya ahinka na mu do ka me hweache
me super mayo.
Na yankopo ya lateni.
Ojo be pe ma na enyamya ma na to. Onim zambe.
Me ka sem ya kiro. Me ka sem ya kiro na nimo. Antimi wa etete wontema. Enu kire yesem ye agadu me ye. Me ka kira wo se. Ko ka kira henkan se sa odna foforo. Eba me baba na so a me ni me ori awie yi. Agadu. Na kura na me ka kira wo. Sa woni aya henkan na aya henkan na ya kaka wagidi wo kurom ha onde e. Obon fasa fo hena no. Ko ka kira na se. Se wonim not na foforo. Eba me baba na so a me ni wie ni. Na sachi e biom. Aya wo. Se wonim na me tisa se ni wie firi wano a. Obehunu me. Na nimo antimo a. Tete wontema. Wo de edi. Ya wada fo ampa. The same group. Ya meti makachira mo.
Ejare maka gine hu yenu why? Hu yenu. Ejadu.
Papa no do asa me kono so man. Me no sense. Bona ni so na ke yinka.
Pani dia meda bani so.
Papa wan hwe ya obe show ba bi dia ba bo trimo.
Ekobi. E pese wo bo amani e kan baba na bana no. Mani gine ho. Mani gine ho. I didn't like us.
And my say, Papa is one in one is I ain't no who can a ban once a month, so but also, Sabema be a corner ban one, why wolf, no casacasa. Whom
ha henkan ko ba ware ne ba no ta asama woka kono ho na hwe wan hye oba bi anfa ade am banku a wo asama do anu asan ba hwe
akom ni nkyire mu asam na waka ba de waka no ma henkan te no ma henkan te no so atwe ho firi ho afumata de no ma na yanko na
we wuntemo papa we ba
yanko why yanko
Mubeba to Queen Kajara.
Salva. That's right. Oh, hey. Jesus, save me.
Wow. Mr. Jet,